Okay, we work on a planet, atmospheres kind of start coming together. Let's work a little bit more on materials for main terrain. So for this one, we'll go inside the shader. So we'll start work here. Let's go a level up. And we have it our base color by default. We can go open. And this is defined base color for our terrains for this overall. Um, I'm going to use this, but I'm going to change this slightly. I say I want a little bit more reddish. So I'll just set up kind of very, very base colors. And next, what we're going to do is add some surface shaders. And by working with displace oil breakups, we start covering right place. So let's go first. We can add layer from here, or actually I'm going to add from the node viewer. And we'll go to surface shader and we'll go select surface layer. So next you can notice I can connect to input and connect to our planet one. So now I take this surface and place it over. The one nice things about this, we can always enable test color, so we can preview how those shaders will overlay. And by modifying them, we can also see how it's happened. So for example, if I take coverage, take down with our breakup, you'll notice right here we start having those areas where the one shader kind of picking over other ones. And I want to leave it this because let's select a little bit more reddish, in this case yellow reddish kind of. So I want those effect applied. In this case, this inconsistency in our covering layer right here, and we'll take, let's make smaller breakups. So an inconsistency in this, it's what will create a natural look. And as a render, you can see already we have a nice effect applied. You know what, before, in some cases, when you start work with colors, problem is atmosphere will change. So I want to go back to my atmosphere. Okay, and I want to actually bring some stuff not all the way, but a little bit back. Okay, and the reason is why, so I have it somewhat colors will applied with atmospheres, and you can see how now planet and everything hiding, but with this sliding, the colors will represent just a little bit more closer to what I wanted, so I don't go too dramatic change on a color on my terrain, and after going atmospheres and go back fix it. So I'll just preset very roughly right now atmosphere. Mostly it's haze and this kind of bluish high coloring, so it's giving me this effect. You can see on the shadows we have a little bit bluish overlay kind of effect. Okay, and next what I want to do it is take some of those areas and overlay even more. So right here it's our basic color. Let's stop it. Okay, we'll go back to our shaders. Okay, and let's go to add another surface shader. So I'm going to again shader, surface shader, surface layer. We'll again connect right here. Let's connect to the planet. But for this one, I actually want to work a little bit more with a slope constraint on that one. So we'll open to edit. And right here you can see we have a slope constraint. We'll go to limit maximum slope. And let's take down to maybe about 45, somewhere around there, 49. That should work. Okay, we can enable our test color. And you can see right here, I add this little bit more to the flatter areas. And as going up rocks, it will lay kind of lower on this. And we'll go set this one to kind of more, bright red rock. Many times that bright red, it's maybe have too much iron or some other one effect. So we'll add right here. We also let's add a little bit more break of coverage so we don't have it just pure color. We want other colors poke through them. Okay, we can increase the breakage of the size of those break, so we have bigger patches, maybe a little bit less. Okay, and let's render. Okay, as a render, you can see we have it nice, that red, it's almost like a sand overlay on some effects. As an example, let's go now create another surface layer, but when we created mountains, we created also some floor maps and other ones, and I want to reuse them. I want to show you how we can create by using mask on specific areas. So right here we have our nice look mountain. Okay, let's stop this one, and we're going to add another surface just for this mountain, for the flows. So I'm going to right click, again create shader, surface shader, and surface layer, just another one, same what we did before. I'm going to connect those ones to the planet, but right here you notice we have a mask shader. So I want to use it actually image for this, and we'll go to click, go to create shader, color shader, and we'll use it image map shader for this. So as we opening, we can go inside some areas, and right here I have it flow, so I'll go to click and upload it. Let's take this and connect to our mask. The first you will notice that our mask, it does not necessarily cover. So let's go enable preview colors, and it's kind of overlaying wrong position. So if we take maybe zoom out, so right here it's overlaying on wrong place. I want to take this image and be sure it's overlaid in right place. For this one, so let's go inside the object. We'll go to actually terrains. We have it right here, high field terrain. Okay, and remember we did resize some of this. Let me go back to shader, surface shader right here. And let's name this as mountain, so we kind of know. And mostly important for me, it's this image one. So I'm going to says stay open. So I want to keep this open if I need it. Okay, let's go terrain right here, high field. And you'll notice we have it position. So we can always copy coordinates and paste them. So we can paste the image in right place. Okay, and next our size, because we did the resize. And if you remember, we resized by 1000 by 1000. So let's do this way. Let's put it 1000. Okay, by 1000. We'll also need to set it is position in the center. Okay, we can go to the shaders. Let's go right here so we can kind of preview coloring. Okay. Next, right now, why it's properly positioned, we don't need to do any pre-adjusting colors, but you can see it's already overlaid and properly shaped for us. So all what we need to do, our image map is properly adjust. Right here, right places, we have it. So let's go ahead and close this one. Now we can go inside our mountain shade right here and rework. The one thing right on the bottom, I don't necessarily want to have this hard edge right here. So I'm going to altitude constraint, limited minimum, so it will should, because it's very high, it's cut off. So my minimum on this case, we can just measure. We go take our cursor. Okay, right here, let me, actually, you know what, let's go view to our render camera. And you notice when I move my mouse, I have my right here settings. So I go down about right here, right click and select copy altitude. So when you're done with copy altitude, we can paste this altitude inside so we know where's minimum I want it. And right here we'll go set maybe about 6 meters fuzziness. So it's meaning this altitude will go apply down to the level that I selected, and after it's kind of will merge together. So we can maybe even put it 10. Okay, and right here, because it's 5, let's bring just slightly up to the 6. So around right here it will be, and it's merging together. Okay, we can disable our colors. We can select it. And you know what, let's just for fun just try see what's other colors we can work very well with this. We can kind of make it a bit more yellowish maybe. Yeah, let's click OK. And let's render preview. Okay, I can see it's very strong yellow color, but I know it will be very strong. I just want preview right now, see how well it will go right here. We can actually reduce, create more kind of wider look, or again, because it is seems like the dust may be washing out or something affecting this, we can create a same red color to this. So let's stop this one, and we can go inside right here and creating red color. Again, we can add a little bit more coverage if we need it, or any other effects, but I want to just leave it as default. Right here, let's go to preview. Okay, as render progress, we can see we have a nice integration of this flow map from our mountains. We also have a nice coverage. I think overall this has come up very well. And on this, we maybe come back and as we're going, we may be tweaking a little bit more with the material settings, as well with backdrops and all this when we start putting together. But our next step is we'll start working on atmosphere to put it this scenery, a little bit more sci-fi-ish, even more look of this. But right now, again, we are already on very good progress by creating and looking on these different options with materials. Again, what we did, we created breakup coverage with a mix. We created altitude and a slope-based coverage, and we're also using image map to assign to specific areas our materials.